Tennessee Tech head coach Dewayne Alexander. Golden Eagles coming off a loss against number 6 ranked Furman from the FCS this week. They're going to go to FBS foe New Mexico on Saturday night. So, Coach, just some thoughts about week one, and then we'll go into some questions.
Furman, obviously, preseason ranked anywhere from 3rd to 6th in the nation, depending on, what poll ranked in, obviously playing them on a Thursday night at their place. We knew it was going to be a challenge. We went, instead of our typical purple and gold uniforms we went in with our Santa Claus suits on. We just turned the football over way too much to win any college football game, no matter what the opponent, but especially one as good as the Furman football team. First of all, to give them credit, Coach Hendricks has got a really good squad. They're all 3 phases of the game, they have no weaknesses. They've got experienced 60-year quarterback, physical offensive line, good receivers, good kick returners, good special teams. Their punter averaged over 50+ yards a punt. Just a very sound, solid defensive football team. So, we knew we'd have our work cut out for us, and we start with the game with a pick 6. We actually gave them 31 points off of turnovers, and that's really the difference in the game. When it's all said and done, our guys competed well. Physically, we matched up well. I was very proud of us defensively, how we responded, especially in the third quarter. We forced 3 straight punts, plus a turnover, plus held them to a field goal when they started with the ball on our own 12-yard line. Besides the 2 pick 6s, we gave them the ball on our 17-yard line. We gave them the ball on our 12-yard line to start drives. That's very tough against anybody, that you play. But I was very proud defensively of how we played. And offensively, we start the game with a good drive. We throw a pick 6. We come back with an 11-play, 55-yard drive and kick a field goal to make it 7-3. We get another 13-play, 74-yard drive to end the half to make the score 21-10. Our guys were excited at halftime. We closed out the first half very strong defensively and offensively. We stress a lot trying to win the middle 8. The middle 8 is those last 4 minutes of the first half, whereas where we had some issues last year, and we really closed this half out very strong against Furman. And then how you start the first 4 minutes of the second half. And defensively, we started with 3 straight 3-and-outs against Furman, plus we caused a turnover as well. We caused 2 of those in the game, which was good to see. But it was a 21-10 ball game, late third quarter, 24-10, fourth quarter, and we've got the ball at midfield, 24-10, 3rd and 3 on their 45-yard line with a chance to make it 24-17 on that drive. And we commit an unforced error, a turnover where the shotgun snap hits hits one of our guys in the backfield, and we end up turning the football over in a key situation. So but I was proud of how hard our guys competed. Again, a very good opponent to on the road. You certainly find out about your team when you play good competition. You find a whole lot more out about your team when you play somebody like Furman than you would find out otherwise. So the things we found out about our team, we're very pleased with. We've got a physical football team. We've got a team that competes hard and plays well and can go toe to toe. But you cannot not have the unforced errors that we had in the game. And obviously that was an inexperienced quarterback making his first start in Ethan Roberts, and he played very well. He was 26, out of 40 for 202 yards and threw a touchdown. But, he had just 3 plays that he'd love to have back. But he'll learn from those, and he'll get better. Our whole team will. And, the goal for this week is for us to get better, to us take the things in that game, the 12, 14 plays in that game that were simply 100% that we had control of. It was nothing our opponent did. It's what we did. Fix those on offense, defense, special teams. And then we're going to get on a plane and go to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and see if we can't improve our football team this week.
Before more specific questions about your team, New Mexico, what have you seen them? They obviously had a tough week 1 opponent too, so sometimes maybe hard to gauge how good they may be.
That's right. Well, Texas A&M, obviously they're certainly, they're an SEC, Power 5 team with, everything that you could possibly ask for talent-wise, and so tough matchup for them. But they, again, it would be what I'm sure Coach Gonzalez is feeling the same thing I felt about our team. Thought we competed really, really hard. I thought their team competed very hard, in the game. Just Texas A&M had a couple players at a couple positions that they just didn't have, but they really started off the game moving the football well, playing. They're aggressive on defense. They give you multiple looks and a lot of pressure. We've already seen that against a Furman team. New Mexico is very aggressive on defense. So I've been very impressed with them. They have a lot of new players. You're watching last year's film is really all you have on a team. And, like a New Mexico. And, they're doing some similar things on defense, but they're doing it with a lot of different personnel this year. They've been able to get in the transfer portal and add a lot of guys to their roster. So at least having a game on them to watch their personnel, does help a little bit. Obviously, they'll be excited for their home opener and to play at home. And our team's excited. We're excited to go and play and improve our team.
I want to ask, everybody always wants to know about the quarterback. You referenced, as Ethan's first start. He's very young. Just thoughts on that and like how he will get better game to game.
I mean, obviously you can practice, and again, in college football, I allude to this all the time, but we don't get a scrimmage or a opportunity to go against anybody else besides ourselves, so the first time you actually get out there and go against an opponent, especially one like Furman, who has a top 5 defense in the country coming out of last season and, playing at their place, I really thought he responded well. I was very proud of him. I thought he was tough. I mean, he pulled down the ball and ran sometimes. He took a couple big hits. He hung in there and kept playing. I thought, like I said, he did a lot of really good things in the football game. He just made a few mistakes that you absolutely cannot make at that position as far as taking care of the football. But he played tough. He played really well. Hayes Gibson, who is another young man that had been splitting time with our ones in preseason camp, actually had cut his thumb open on a Saturday night with a razor when he's changing out a razor blade, had to have stitches in his thumb and was not available for the game, to be able to play. So, we planned on playing a couple quarterbacks in the game, but Ethan, I thought, responded very well in the game, did an outstanding job. I was very proud of him. Jordan Potts, a true freshman from Knoxville Powell, got in, some snaps. And again, a great learning experience for him. When you get out there and really see that speed of the game against an opponent, you will only get better and improve from your first game to the second game.
That leads perfectly to my next question, and last one, we'll let you go. Coaches earlier talked about that's where a lot of the improvement happens. So if you had to say one or two areas, where do you think your team will make the biggest leap this week?
I think the unforced errors. When I say unforced errors, things the other team have no responsibility. I mean, they have nothing to do with it. Just basic things, where you align properly, execute, just the overall speed of the game and execution, especially guys that have not played that much football. We did have a few on both sides of the ball that it was their first real game experience. So, that's where we'll make the biggest strides. We played very, very solid defense and, we're aggressive on defense. We'll learn from some mistakes we made there. Kicking game, same way. Our punter averaged 48 yards a punt. It is of note, Hayden Olson made his 67th straight extra point, which broke the school record here at Tennessee Tech in 102 years of football. He's the first kick. He's made 67 straight extra points. So that was a big accomplishment for Hayden. He kicked a field goal. Really, we were solid in the special teams. We did give up one punt return that we'll improve on. But I mean, just those, those base fundamental, the unforced errors, and we had enough of those in the game that you can't have. And I think, we improve those. I think that's where we'll see the biggest improvement.
Well, Coach, thanks for your time this morning. Best of luck to your team this weekend, and we'll talk to you again next Tuesday.
Thank you, sir.